Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'll show you this Watchdives watch called 1863, which is the latest version of this model, and I will show you this Watchdives watch, how it looks like on these Watchdives straps. Watchdives has sent me this watch and these straps for this video, and I get to keep them. Thank you Watchdives. And let's begin with the specifications, and I did all the measurements myself. The size of my wrist is 16.5 centimeters or 6.5 inches, and this watch of the bracelet like that weighs 55 grams. Diameter of the case, if I measure like that, diameter is 40.8 millimeters, and diameter of the bezel is 38.9 millimeters. Lug to lug distance according to my measurements is 45.8 millimeters. Lug width is 20. Thickness right there in the middle is 13 millimeters. This watch has sapphire crystal with rounded up edges and flat middle portion. Very good one, by the way. It has water resistance rating of 100 meters, and inside it has chronograph WD1863 movement quartz, one mecha quartz actually, and the bracelet tapers down to 16 millimeters. It has solid links, solid end links. Links are connected with screws, and it also has solid metal clasp. Before I get into more details, let me give you a general overview. So this model is 1863, and 3 means that this is already 4th iteration. You know, it was 1860, 1861, 1862, and this one is already 4th version, 1863, 4th iteration, which means that they keep upgrading this model, they keep improving. And what I really like about this brand, that they are very active on Reddit, and they read the comments and they respond to comments, and not only because of, you know, promotional reasons, but they actually listen to the feedback and they try to improve, and this watch is just great example of that. People were complaining about Watchdives logo, that it doesn't look nice, so Watchdives has upgraded the logo. As you can see, let me move this second hand out of the way. The logo is upgraded. It's a nice trident. Also on the crown the logo is upgraded. People were complaining that the watch is a little bit thick, so they slimmed it down. Not only the millimeters, but also the shape of the case is a little bit different from the old models. It looks visually slimmer. It's not just is slimmer, you know. It's like a very nice sandwich kind of a case. It looks nice from the side profile. They also made it a little bit shorter lug to lug distance. And people were also complaining that pushers look a little bit like they're sticking out too much, so they made them to be a little bit shorter. And not only that, but they also nicely integrated in the case right now. As you can see, cutouts around the pushers are a little bit rounded, which is nice attention to detail, you know. Also, they upgraded the bezel a little bit. It's a little bit slimmer as far as I understand. And they upgraded the bracelet a little bit. Well, not a little bit, quite a lot, because the links are right now connected with screws, as you can see. And don't worry about that, because they add screwdriver into the packaging, so you will be able to resize this bracelet yourself at home. And they upgraded the design of the clasp. Right now it has those nice lines. So I really respect that when brands actually listen to the feedback and upgrade their models based on the feedback. This watch is a great example of that. Now let's get into details, starting with the bracelet. By the way, for myself, I had to remove this many links to find a perfect fitment. And the reason why I'm showing you this bracelet up close, because it's a rather fancy bracelet, you know. It's actually made out of 5 links. So first of all, let's take the screw out. And by the way, the threading of the screw is right there by the head of the screw. Let's remove it. And I want to show you that this bracelet is actually made of separate parts. I mean, that must be not cheap to make something like this. That's rather fancy, you know. That's nice. That's nice. Now moving on to the bracelet itself. let's take a better look and let's do a little bit of a quality inspection. First of all, visual inspection. You know, speaking about visuals, this thing is really nice. This is a very nice looking bracelet. I like the complexity. It doesn't look boring. It looks awesome and really fits the style of this watch, in my opinion. There are several problems, however. You know, if I could give a feedback, so let's do that. Let's give a feedback. When this watch is sitting on my wrist, let me put it on my wrist. Let's zoom out to a bigger picture. What I don't really like is the first gap right there between the end link and the first link. I understand this gap is there so that the bracelet wouldn't you know, bang into itself, leaving the indentation mark of the first link. But if I, you know, point it upwards as much as I can, there is still quite a lot of free space. So I would say this gap is a little bit unnecessarily big. I wish it was a little bit smaller, like by at least 2 millimeters. It will look a little bit nicer, in my opinion. But what I like is that the first, you know, the first link is actually pointing down very nicely together with the lug design. You know, it's fluid. It's nice. The fitment inside lugs is actually nice on both ends. Aren't really, well, maybe a little gap, but it's so tiny. It's so tiny. There is really nothing really to complain about. Now, moving on with this bracelet. The problem with this bracelet is that it's rather sharp. And how sharp is it? Well, let's do the pen test. This is the plastic pen. Let's see if I can peel this pen with the bracelet. Well, yeah, you know, yeah, this shouldn't be happening, to be honest with you. Even though those links, as you can see, they don't really have corners. They are all oval, they're all rounded, but the very edges actually, well, sharp enough to peel the pen, as you can see. So I wish to see improvements on that as well. Now let's move on to the clasp. The clasp on this watch also has good things and bad things. So the good thing about this clasp is that the inside portion of the clasp, the part that touches your skin, actually is very nicely finished. It's very nicely finished, no sharpness whatsoever. Another good thing about this clasp is that when I lock it in place like that, let me clean it off a little bit. When I lock it in place, it's actually a slim clasp. It is basically almost as, well, almost as thick as the bracelet itself, I could say. Well, it's a slim clasp. It's compact. I like that. Yet it still has plenty of micro adjustments. That's nice. Another nice thing is that it's made very, very precisely. Look, I just lock it in place and there is absolutely zero movement. Zero movement from the hook. It's incredible. The fit and the finish and fitment. I mean, just look at this thing. The precision is very high. It's very high. It makes me happy. Things like that, you know, lock it in place. That's it. Zero play. That makes me happy. What doesn't make me happy though is the finishing on the clasp. You know, visually speaking, it's beautiful. This is beautiful clasp. It's slim, it's finished very beautifully, but it's not really finished, you know. All the edges on the clasp are very sharp actually. And yeah, if I would do this pen test, wow, it's razor sharp, as you can see. So yeah, I wish to see improvements on that as well, you know. But when I put this watch on my wrist, you know, strange thing is, when I put this watch on my wrist, I feel no sharpness. And you know why? I believe it is because this bracelet has quite a lot of side-to-side flexibility, and it also tapers down quite a lot. It tapers down from 20 mil to 16 millimeters. So it's rather narrow bracelet, which also has quite a lot of flexibility, which makes this watch feel comfortable on the wrist. You know, I usually don't like bracelets, but with this bracelet, even though it is sharp, I just don't have problems. I have worn this watch throughout the whole day yesterday, and I haven't even felt this watch on my wrist. So that's interesting, you know, that's interesting. It is sharp enough to peel the pen, yet when it is sitting on my wrist, I just don't feel it. Probably because it has this, you know, side-to-side flexibility, and generally speaking, it's articulation of this bracelet is nice. It's very, very nice. Nothing is getting stuck. Look. It's nice. It's very nice. I love that. I love this free play on the bracelet. And because of this free play, there is no discomfort. This watch is free to move on my wrist, you know, free to adapt. It feels very organic, feels natural, and it's tight, you know. I can't even fit this finger underneath. It's tight, yet it has plenty of free play. I like that. I like that. Even though it's sharp, but it's comfortable. Now the quality control on the finishing of the case. First of all, visual inspection. This thing looks nice. It looks really nice. And I know that you already know that this thing looks nice because there are plenty of videos about this watch on YouTube. And, well, just look at this thing. It's beautiful. The bezel also, it's aluminum insert. I like how it shines. It has this metal shine which looks beautiful. The lock finishing, the polishing on those sides, the transition and everything, the brushing on sides. You know, let me give you a good look. Yeah, visually it looks awesome, and especially love the sides of the bezel, polished out, and it also has like multiple steps, multiple layers, further complementing this kind of a sandwich design. I really like that. I like that it's, you know, short, compact, and it's like some kind of, you know, sandwich design. I love that. I love that. What I don't love, however, is the bottom edges of this watch. So another thing which I could suggest, you know, improving upon next model, if there will be one, is these edges. This one, this one, this one, this one, and these ones. Surprisingly, this part is not sharp, but everything else on the bottom can peel my pen, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, catches on the pen, like takes out big chunks of my pen. It's not a big deal, you know. Honestly, it's very easy thing to fix. Just take some soft sandpaper and rub off and dull those edges down a little bit. But you know, I just wish I wouldn't need to do that. You know, I wish I could take a watch out of the box and there would be no sharp edges that need finishing off. But that's it. That's the only problem, really. The lug ends themselves, they are pointy, but they are not sharp. I wouldn't call them sharp. So the only sharp bits are the bottom edges of the case. Now quality control, moving on the dial. On the dial I haven't found a single problem. Everything is very nice. Even look at the bottom subdial. Second hand actually is hitting the markers. Look at the second marker. Yep, right on. That's nice. It's a tiny seconds hand, yet it hits the markers. That's very nice attention to detail. Now the seconds hand of a chronograph, the one on the top with the red tip, as you can see, alignment is spot on, right in the middle. That's very nice. Now let's check the alignment of hands, and by the way, this is a screw down crown. It feels great. Screws down in place very nicely. It doesn't feel grindy or whatever. Now let's see the alignment of hands. Let's set on exactly 6. Let's see if they are sitting straight. Yes, they are sitting straight, and also the subdial on the right is also pointing nicely at 6. Everything is nicely aligned. And generally speaking, at least according to my eyes, everything seems nicely aligned. All the indices, you know, all the Lume little dots, everything seems to be nicely in place. Yeah, I don't see any dust, any fingerprints on the inside of the watch, and I mean, just look at this thing. That's so beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. I haven't told you yet, but I have chose this watch myself, and I chose it just because I really love how it looks like. And in person, you know, once you take this watch out of the box, in person, it's strikingly beautiful. This watch is strikingly beautiful. No pictures, no videos can do the real judgment for this watch. Once you see this thing in person, it's like it's so good looking. It looks way better than on any videos, on pictures, you know. I'll try my best to do a very nice photo shoot on this watch. I haven't done yet. But this watch is one of those watches that really motivate me to improve my photography, you know, and try my best, because I mean, just I look at this thing in person, in real life, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this thing is so nice, so nice. So it really motivates me to try my best to make this watch to look as good as possible in pictures as well. I mean, this thing is just unbelievably beautiful. Yeah, so it's a good reason why this watch model is so popular. Good reason. Okay, moving on with the quality inspection. So next thing to try is chronograph pushers. And to be honest with you, they feel absolutely wonderful. They have very nice, satisfying, clicky feedback, which is also, it's audible. Let me try to record it. I don't know if you can really hear that, but they feel so good. It's like very precise click action, which you can actually hear. It's like click, stop it, click. Also feedback when resetting it. Yeah, it feels wonderful. These pushers feel wonderful, and you don't need to unscrew anything, you know, just push it. They are a very convenient thing on the watch. Actually, when I wear chronograph or a diving style watch with the bezel, I actually use timing function of the watch quite often throughout the day. When I'm boiling food or charging some batteries, it's just very convenient when you have this thing on the wrist. You just press the button and that's it, the timer is going. It's very nice. So now, how to read this chronograph, I believe you all know. Let's just take a little bit better look at the minute chronograph subdial. So it's a 60-minute chronograph subdial, and the first indice is actually 10 minutes. No, sorry, what am I talking about? It's actually 5 minutes. Hold on a second, let me grab a tool. Let's figure it out together, okay? So yeah, each indice is actually 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, 35. Yeah, so each indice on the chronograph subdial is actually 5 minutes. And don't worry that I'm scratching this crystal with this very sharp tool, because it's a sapphire crystal. Another thing on this watch that I would like to pay special attention to is the crystal on this watch, the sapphire crystal on this watch. Basically, the sapphire crystal on this watch is as good as it can really get. Honestly, this is like as good as it can get, because it has this clear anti-reflective coating, and obviously it does a great job. And the clarity of this crystal is awesome. It's really good. Obviously, white dial, bright white dial really helps to deal with reflections because it overpowers them. But generally speaking, the crystal on this watch is exceptionally nice. It's one of those examples where it's obvious that you don't need mineral crystal for good clarity, because sapphire crystals like this one exist, you know what I'm talking about. And the shape of this sapphire crystal, it's so beautiful. It really fits the style of this sandwich case design, you know. You see a little bit of case back, a little bit of the case itself, a side of the bezel, and then this crystal is popping out. This is my favorite shape of a crystal, when sides are rounded up, giving you a little bit of distortions on the edges on some angles, but the middle portion is basically flat. Not only it deals with reflections really well, but also it looks beautiful. Yeah, the crystal on this watch is exceptionally good. Fully charged Lume on this watch looks like this. And I can tell you that the lume quality on this watch is actually good. The lume itself is nice, it's blue, it's that kind of a lume that shines strong and lasts usually a long time. The problem is that there isn't much of this lume on the watch. Hands, I actually tried this watch as my night watch, and in the morning I almost was not able to see those indices. Hands were still visible, but what's interesting is that in my opinion this watch doesn't even need lume, because those black hands stand out on this white dial so much that you need very little light on this watch in order to see the time. So, you know, and by the way, using opportunity that the orange backlight is off, let me play a little bit with the light. Just wanna give you a little bit different lighting situations, how this watch looks like, because you know, this is that type of a watch that it doesn't really matter what kind of light hits this watch and at what angle, you know, it always looks beautiful. This watch, no matter what, no matter the light or angle of light, it's always pretty. This thing is pretty, very, very pretty. That's why I chose this watch. Watchdives has sent me a bunch of straps to try out on this watch in this video, and if you are interested in any of these straps, you can find the link in the description, or just go straight to watchdives.com and you will find these straps on their website. The first one, I believe, is a rather obvious choice for this watch with the white dial. It's just a white waffle rubber strap. It's awesome, and this strap has this interesting pattern. And you know what, using this opportunity, I'm also gonna do a little review about these straps. So the price of this strap, as I see right now, is 8 euros. Sorry, I don't know how much it costs if you live in different region than Europe. I can only speak about what I see, you know. So this strap, how does it look like? Well, it looks awesome. It looks awesome. Maybe, hold on a second, maybe there's a little bit too much light. Let's add a little bit of more contrast so you could see this waffle pattern on the strap. And yeah, it fits this watch really nicely. This is a rubber strap, but it's soft, it's nice, and as I can see, it's fairly breathable. The only problem I could point out with this strap is that those holes are very far apart, so for me to find perfect fitment, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make some extra holes for myself. What I like is that it tapers down quite a bit. It looks nice, and it really fits this watch very well. Also the keepers, one keeper is loose and other keeper is fixed in place. The buckle is nice, no sharpness. Yeah, good looking strap for this very good looking watch. This is the most expensive rubber strap that I ever had. This is premium grade FKM fluoro rubber watch strap, and the price of this strap is 16 euros. Okay, and what I like about this strap is that it's obviously very breathable. It has those ventilation holes. The design looks rather cool. I like that those holes are angular. You know, it looks nice. It kind of fits this watch well. And about the quality, about the feel, what's nice about this rubber strap is that it basically is as soft as silicone. You know, it's a very soft strap, but it's very slippery. And yeah, that's the nice thing. It's extra slippery, which makes it feel very nice on the wrist. So yeah, very flexible, very soft, and very slippery, and obviously very breathable as well. Yeah, obviously rather good strap. And this strap, I believe everyone is gonna get as a gift in their packaging. The only stupid thing is that the color is random, and I was lucky to get the black one. Because you could get, you know, like orange or whatever, which wouldn't necessarily fit the style of the watch that you have ordered. Anyway, it's just a gift, you know, it's just a free strap, so no need to complain. The point of this strap is that you cut it to size and use the original clasp on this strap. So sorry, I don't wanna deal with that right now. I'm just gonna show you how it looks like. It is also this high quality FKM rubber strap, which is very flexible, soft, and very slippery. Yes, it's a very good quality thing. And you probably remember from my previous videos that I show this strap quite a lot in my videos. This is that silk smooth, shiny green nylon strap which has a little bit stupid large buckle, but it's a very good quality, wonderful strap, and usually they are very cheap. So Watchdives also has multiple colors, and the pricing on their website, as I see, is just 3 euros. It is called 007 premium quality nylon fabric strap. So it's also shiny, also silk smooth, also has stupid large buckle. But as for 3 euros, this is incredibly beautiful and very good quality, very good feeling nylon strap, and it looks really good on this watch, as you can see. Yeah, this gray color I'm sure is gonna fit multiple watches very nicely. Looking good, looking real good. That's nice. Man, just pay attention how this bezel lights up. This bezel is just so nice. This is also the same strap, just has multiple colors, and that's how it looks like on this watch. If you like colorful combinations, this might be an interesting option for you. This is elastic sporty nylon strap with black hardware, and this, as I'm making this video right now, this strap is not available on their website yet, but it will be soon because it's a new model of some kind. You know this elastic nylon strap very well, and that's how it looks like. I'm just not sure about the orange line, doesn't really fit this watch very well. I wish it was black or red maybe. Anyway. And this one is very lovely nylon strap, and there are two sizes available, M and L size, and obviously I got the L size because it's way too large for me. So the negative thing about this strap is that it costs 14 euros. That's a bit much for a nylon strap, but the quality is really good. Hold on a second, let me take it off. Yeah, the quality of this single pass Velcro nylon strap is very lovely. Also multiple colors available, not just the different sizes. It's a little bit, it has a little bit of thickness, you know, and it's squishy, it's soft, it's like some kind of fabric. It doesn't feel like nylon, it feels like some kind of fabric. It's very nice, very good quality. For the ending of this video, let's put this watch back on its original bracelet, and in my opinion this is how this watch looks the best, because I do think this bracelet is very beautiful, and I really like that it tapers down to 16 millimeters, which makes it look elegant, a little bit nicer, lighter on the eyes. But the main thing what I like about this bracelet, that it has this excessive side-to-side play, because usually I don't like bracelets, I find them to be very uncomfortable, but bracelets like this one with excessive play from side to side, actually the only type of bracelets that I have no trouble wearing on. And this bracelet, it just doesn't feel uncomfortable, it just sits so naturally on my wrist, it wraps around my wrist, it forms into the shape that's naturally sitting on my wrist, and it just doesn't choke my wrist and feels nice. It feels nice. So with this bracelet I just don't have any trouble, even though it is sharp, but I just don't feel it when it's on my wrist. Now speaking about the sharpness, this watch is already 4th iteration, and I believe there is room for improvements to see a 5th iteration, because visually speaking I think there is nothing left to do. I think visually this watch looks awesome, except for this tiny hole on the bracelet, but what's left to do is just finish off sharp edges on the bottom of the case, sharp edges on the bracelet, and sharp edges on the clasp, and that would be basically it. So in my opinion this watch still needs a little bit of time in the oven. It's still a little bit undercooked, but it's already looking very beautiful. It's a very beautiful item to have. And also I would like to mention one thing, that a big sale is coming up. On some places that sale is called just a summer sale, on some other places it's called 618 sale. All I can tell you that a big sale starts at 16th of June and it will go till 25th of June, and all I know is that it's gonna be very big sale, the same style as 11/11, very famous sale. So keep your eyes on AliExpress and on Watchdives website. You may gonna see very tempting prices. So with this note, let's end this video. Thank you for watching, have a beautiful day, goodbye.